I'm Hannah.
And I'm Georgia.
And you're listening to Film Picnic.
We begin as always by acknowledging that Film Picnic is recorded on the traditional and ancestral lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. This land is referred to as unceded territory as it was not given up freely and continues to be home for the indigenous communities from which it is stolen.
Mm-hmm. It is with immense privilege that we talk into these microphones and share our stories, as stories have been shared for generations before us on this land. We hope that Film Picnic can be a space for shared accountability, knowledge sharing, and reconciliation. This always was and always will be Indigenous land.
What a day it's been.
Mercury is in retrograde and I'm feeling it. It was an eclipse last night.
We're just adapting.
We've had technical issues every single episode that we've ever tried to record with like peace and love.
And we are always learning.
And
Learning always.
We're using a different setup. I don't know if you can tell.
Adapting always. This is
for our video listeners.
Our first episode in here with chairs. In Studio B with chairs.
Period.
Yeah.
It's good for our backs.
The real talk is my chair is very broken.
Oh, yeah. So
but it's good for my core.
And this has some sort of sharp object in the seated portion of it. So I'm sitting on my hoodie.
We hope you guys are doing a little better than we are today.
Yes. I don't know if you can tell, but it's the two of us in our studio today.
It's just the two of us.
We already made that joke, so I'm not going to make it again. Just the two of us. I had to.
It is just the two of us and Ethan. Blessings and riches to Ethan.
Peace and love.
Yeah, we're in chairs. It's a new setup, a new day.
I kind of like it. I don't know. Do you guys like, if you're watching video wise, do you like the vibe of having wires behind us and seeing the audio being recorded into Audacity, which is a very, very, very bare bones recording system? Anyway,
showing all of our cards.
We are
this setup.
It's been a crazy morning of setting up, of back and forth, and it's ended up just being the two of us for this episode. And you know what?
Which is fun.
I think it's fun. I think I've missed recording with just you, Georgia.
Because sometimes we just get to gabbing and being silly and
one thing about us
that ensue.
Whoa. I love your terminology, Georgia.
Thank you.
I thought for this episode we could have a little conversation about, like, I know we had our opening episode of what pre-production was like for Film Picnic, and we've spoken, we make jokes about how frequently we communicate, but I was thinking maybe it would be beneficial for our listeners who are curious about how we were able to make a program like this have, I don't know, some form of a regular social media presence and continue our programming, how we...
Yeah, it really has been a process. I think that is not, we gave actually our CITR workshop, we gave a little bit of a talk about directed studies and what that looked like. Mm-hmm. But also we have taken it in so many new directions. I mean, it hasn't just
have our finger in many pots.
Yeah,
that's a saying, right?
I haven't heard that, but sure, yes.
Ethan's like, okay.
No, but I know in like clay making, like a pinch pot.
Sure.
Something you do by like pinching.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's very much a thing.
For our Potter audience.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
Please.
No, but we have, I mean, there's been, I love, you know what I've really learned with this project?
What? Also, just a disclaimer, this is our least prepared for episode that we've ever done ever of Film Picnic. This is fully off the dome.
Fully off the
and
dome.
We are in Deluluville.
Yes. But not to say that there's not good things that are coming out of this.
No, this is arguably could be our best episode yet.
You know what I think? I love, Film Picnic has given me audacity in not this kind of audacity.
Audacity our
audio. Hannah and I just have this little show and we have little things that we talk about and it's all very self-motivated, but it's literally just given me audacity to like a cold email and you never know what's going to happen.
So
like,
true.
I feel like it's empowered me to just like start and think about everything else later. And it's really...
Even though we did have 6 months of preparation and we do think about things very thoroughly.
But how often? I mean, just so many new opportunities are coming up all the time.
Oh, for sure.
People reaching out to us, also us reaching out to other people, or taking the initiative to go to festivals, and then all of a sudden, va-va-voom, we meet someone from Doc National. Va-va-voom, we are helping,
We're doing a creative jam. We're co-producing a networking initiative.
We speak to Kyle Mann from Independent Edge.
Bless. Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle. We're going to have him on sometime.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have him on. It's going to be fun. But I'm just, I don't know. There's so much. It's all just self-driven and self-motivated.
And I think
And
that like
beautiful.
you and I have talked about Georgia and I are both at film school. I mean, obviously we've spoken about that. Georgia and I are both at business school. And I think that business school equips you with a lot of audacity, to be honest, to use your words, Georgia. It equips you with a lot of audacity. And I think it just kind of, for me, I've taken a lot of like how to put myself out there away from business school, how to reach out to people, how to present myself in a way that's like professional, but also personable. Not in a fake way, just in like a, I don't know how to describe it, but just like in a businessy way, how to interact with the business world of film. And I think that this show has been a really, really beautiful opportunity for Georgia and I to expand our own network and practice those skills on air. Us still being emerging, it's been a wonderful space. I just said expand our own network, didn't I? I don't know. I blacked out.
No, I definitely clocked it at least one of those times, which is not.
But like being like you just said, like the show kind of gives us almost ground to stand on when we are reaching out to people who might be a little bit outside of our network or a little bit further outside of our reach. It's a great place that we can it's our resume. We can reference it and be like, this is who we've had on. This is what
we're doing.
This is what we're doing. This is what we have coming up. These are our initiatives.
Schemes.
And like,
I don't know why I refer to everything as a scheme. This chair is so squeaky. Apologies.
It's okay. You've already apologized.
I apologize for this chair.
Okay.
I think, I don't know. There's so many fun things. I think I very much agree with you on the film or the professionalism aspect of it too. I think business school, even walking in that building.
Oh my God.
Did
you know that we get graded on how we dress? Isn't that insane? Like, not like specifically like you go to class and you're graded on that, but any presentation you do in business school, well, in our business school, you are graded. It's a professionalism grade.
People be wearing suits.
Full suits.
But I mean, I don't know. I kind
of like it.
I will say when I'm in that kind of garb,
I feel locked in.
I'm locked in. I'm like, I could talk to anyone. Okay, anecdote time. I was going to my profs.
I love you, Georgia.
I was going to my profs' office hours. I was sitting in the business school. I was sitting, and I had that class that day, so I was like,
which one?
My organizational behavior class. So I was
trying
to look
OB.
I was trying to, dress the part.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for the elevator, and a prof walked by, or some older person who had eyeglasses and a tie. So I was like, he looks intellectual. I assume he's a prof.
Yeah.
But we just kind of like, I don't know why, but we just kind of like held this sustained eye contact as he went past, and he was like,
was he flirting with you?
No. But he was like,
that's a crazy thing
how
for
are
me
you
to say.
today? And I was like, oh, I'm doing well. How are you? And then we struck up this little conversation, and he told me that he was a prof, and then I was just like,
that's lovely.
When you look like you're open and willing to talk to people, and you look like a friendly person that they want to talk to. Not to say that you should judge everyone based on what they look like, but if you're trying to interact with someone in a professional way, knowing how to carry yourself makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Can I add on an anecdote to your anecdote?
Please.
I
have more anecdotes. Maybe this is just an episode of anecdotes because so. I have more.
I was at Sauder, which is our business school in the building, and I was in an elevator with one of my profs, and another prof walked in, and they were yapping, and, oh, are you a professor here, blah, 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 and then the prof that I was with left, and then I was left with that new one that came in the elevator, and I just make a joke. I'm like, oh, I'm not a professor, and they look at me and go, I know, I can tell by the way you're dressed. Okay. I think I was just wearing like jeans and a hoodie, which obviously that's not what a business school professor wears. But I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, oh.
You know what?
I'm not even in my like track pants, which I wear regularly.
I don't love that.
No.
I don't love that. I will, to pivot, to
Please.
segue. How great is it? I mean, film is a creative industry.
Mm-hmm.
I was recently on a Crazy 8 set.
Nice pivot.
Yes. I was recently on a Crazy 8 set where part of the joy of Crazy 8 is it's very accessible.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Canadian and you have written a script, you can enter. Pointing. That was funny. I'm sorry. That just made me laugh that I did that.
That was really funny, Georgia.
Pointing to the lens.
You did such a great job with breaking the fourth wall just then.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really accessible, and I just remember it was a night shoot, which was its own kind of challenge and something that I had never done before, but
night shoots kill me.
the director had a great attitude.
That's good.
She was young, and I genuinely had no idea that she was. I mean, granted, being on set is probably different because everyone's just in survival mode and comfortable mode. But I had no idea that I hadn't put a face to the name yet. Didn't know she was the director, and she was dressed in a very chill and very cute little outfit and had a little hat on, and I was like, okay,
That's nice.
Like we're all comfortable and professional.
What did you think about my outfits when I was directing?
Comfortable, professional,
okay,
accessible.
Okay. Thank you. So I try.
Yeah. No, I remember one day didn't you have the big collared shirt on?
I was wearing a collar.
You had a collar
I was
on
wearing
one day.
a collar.
The other day, I remember you being in the gray. You had like your green hoodie
Oh my God,
on.
you remember?
I was just BTS, so I was.
You were locked into that.
But yeah, I don't know, etiquette and things. And even though I was a PA, she fully made a point to come over to me at some point and was
That's
like,
huge.
"Hi, what's your name?"
That's why I always have name tags on set, so that people feel more.
There were name tags, which was nice. It was a great culture, which is something that we talk about all the time, and we can just continue to talk about more and keep doing.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, Georgia.
Please.
I feel like we've both learned and grown an immense amount individually, but also just as a team. I'm really proud of how we work together. But
I looked at a picture of us from last April.
Then when we barely knew each other,
I'm like,
I know we kind of eat. I don't know. I love us. I think we have I just a very lovely relationship.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's very
but
fun.
what do you think is the biggest takeaway that you've taken from Film Picnic in terms of anything?
I mean, kind of what I was saying earlier, just anything. It has taught me to dream bigger. It has taught me to.
I love that.
It has taught me to think why, instead of just being oh, I should go to that festival, I'm why don't I apply for a media pass so I don't have to pay? Why don't I get involved with it?
Why don't I try and talk to that director that I really look up to?
Why? Yeah, precisely.
And
having a project to kind of stand on and something to show people, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I'm doing. I mean kind of operates similar to having a portfolio or something, but I think it's exciting, and there's people that are excited with us, and that is proof that we have something special going on.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know, it's very much taught me to just think bigger, and had you told me a year ago the things that we would be doing now, and the little side projects and the carpets and the and all of the
and our knoll. We've named our grass Knoll. It's just Knoll. It's not the Knoll. It's Knoll.
It's Knoll.
Anyway,
and the fact that we have an editor and a videographer. How cool is that? Yeah,
crazy.
What has it taught you, Hannah?
I think.
What have you taken away?
I think I've always been a big dreamer. I've always been I think even initially, I'm a dreamer. That was horrible for people's ears. I'm so sorry.
That was not a good choice,
but I think that what I've taken away most is consistently working on a long-term project that requires long-term growth and long-term communication, and consistently working with another person has been so beautiful. I think in the past I've had working relationships that haven't just been so smooth, and also it's so 50-50.
Yeah.
I feel like we're so good at it. It's so 50-50 in the way that we communicate with each other, in the way that we check in, and we have different strengths and we truly play to those strengths, and having to check in every day. It's a lot of work, keeping bank statements, making sure that we're answering emails. It is
a lot of checking.
I was about to say it's full time. It's not full time, but it's a lot. And I think I've learned organizational skills, communication skills, and like you said, working with a team, making sure that we all feel like we're getting something out of the project. I think, I don't know. And since the beginning, we've always just looked at Film Picnic as an opportunity for us to learn, whether that's learning from the guests that we have on, or learning from the mishaps. Literally everything technically went wrong this morning, but it happens every episode.
You'd think by season 2 that maybe we would have some kind of solid formula for doing this. Granted, that's not. That's not to say that we're bad at our job or what we're doing. But
no, it's not our fault, guys.
We're just constantly adapting to circumstances. Which
we are in a shared space. We're
space.
broadcasting from a community space where equipment is shared, and so things are in different places. And like you'll notice our setup is slightly different each time, which I think is cute. But
We're
that's
here in
because we
Studio B.
literally pack everything up and
Studio
set
A.
everything up right before.
Yeah.
I want a studio. I want a standing desk. I want one with a treadmill underneath, so I'm like there on my computer and I'm walking.
We do have ambition.
We have lots of ambition.
We have
so
goals.
if anybody wants to fund us, if anybody wants to donate,
wink.
give us money.
I only blinked once.
You
but I said
blinked?
wink, wink. Yeah.
Oh, Georgia went wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Please.
Yeah, we're working on that.
I love it. I told Ethan to get some BTS videos, and they're killing it. I'm making a reel today. I'm learning about social media metrics, and like I've worked in social media before, but I think again, like starting your own projects is a great space to just get the experience that you've been looking for. Oh man, I really want a job in social media management. Okay, manage your own socials. Manage your friends' socials.
This is real. Well, I was gonna say too, like, because gotta pay them bills, gotta work, gotta do something. I've been applying for lots of jobs lately. There are a lot of businesses seeking social media managers, and some of them are paying like $28 an hour.
Yeah.
For, I mean, well, maybe this is me being out of touch about what a graphic designer makes because I am not a graphic designer, but it's like video editing skills, social media management skills.
These are all skills that we're developing.
Social media analytics and creating a plan for a brand.
Good Lord. Us and our social media
skills
analytics.
in demand.
Yeah.
For real. I don't know. I was just like surprised by that.
Yeah. You know who okay. A skill that I really want more of. I do a lot of funding applications, so I'm very well versed in that. But communicating with corporate sponsors, I do have experience with. But I think I would love to have someone on who might be like specialized in that section of raising money that's not necessarily through grants, but through investors. That could be a good opportunity for us to learn.
Okay, private equity.
Yeah, no, literally. Oh, we actually should talk to the person that we're both thinking of right now.
Yeah, there's a person. We'll talk to them.
Anyway,
we'll have a meeting.
money must be funny.
One thing about us is we love a meeting.
Oh,
we love a meeting with a follow-up email.
Love a meeting with a lengthy follow-up email, but not too lengthy. Not inappropriately lengthy.
A good summative length.
Yeah.
This is not related at all to what we're talking about, but
No,
it's
great.
just a funny
Tell me.
story, and it happened on this night shoot, and I just feel really compelled. I don't think I've told you about this yet, but it was just something so funny that happened. I drove because the shoot was in Delta, and it was in this. Like,
is that further than Surrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Ethan is shaking their
nodding.
head. Yes. So
nodding their head. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I drove my car, and some of the other PAs I think had bust, so they asked. They needed more fuel, and they were like, "Oh, any of the PAs, like, can you take these jerry cans to the gas station? Like, it's like like a 20-minute walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Can you like go take these jerry cans?" And
they
fill
wanted
them
you
up?
to walk?
Well, that's why I was like, I have a car. I'll just drive.
A 20-minute walk is a long time to walk with one of those with like gallons of fuel.
Yes, with very heavy. Yeah. So I was like,
walk 20 minutes.
I don't know. So I went to go. Is this funny or does it make me sound like an idiot? Maybe both. Whatever.
Can we just? I want to know.
I went to go fill up the jerry cans. I got one of them open, and then I filled it up with gas, but I couldn't get the other one open. Like, I literally could not get the lid, like the top off of it. So I had to drive back with just one jerry can, and then I had to like call on the radio to have someone come get it because the crew park was further away from the set, whatever. So someone came over with a wheelbarrow to get both of them, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I only have one. I have to go back. Can you please help me get this thing open?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to struggle, but they literally went like, dink, and it opened. And I was like,
how embarrassing.
Because I'd spent like 10 minutes while I was at the gas station. Just me. Granted, also, it's like 3 a.m. I'm at the gas
night
station.
shoots are like horrifying.
I just had the back of my car open. I had these 2 jerry cans out, and I was like struggling so hard to open the top of a jerry can. I got one of them. I don't know.
You got the other?
In
the end?
In the end, I did fill up both of the cans, but it did require individual trips, and
that's
am a little less
PAing. I feel like that's
dignified,
PAing.
Well, it was also like the jobs the different tasks I was assigned, this is a phrase you love that I use, ran the gamut.
I was about to say that. I was mid-yawn, but I was about to say, are you going to say ran the gamut?
Like, really, I mean, because sometimes you have more specific jobs, like you're doing, you know, like transportation stuff, or, you know, like maybe you're assigned a more specific task. In this, I was just a floater, which honestly was fun because I was like,
Me in high school,
like
friendship-wise.
I was like, wait, what?
Like, we're just like a floater. Like, you float around groups anyway.
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's real.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were going to put me on, what's it called with the reflective vests and you're guiding traffic? I'm forgetting now. It doesn't
Traffic
matter.
control?
Yeah, but there's a word for it.
No, I know, and I'm embarrassed that you've asked me a question that I don't know the answer to. Do you know the answer, Ethan?
Locations.
Yeah, I feel like yes, it's locations. Guys,
there
please
was some
answer
abbreviation
us.
I was thinking of, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Can I? No, finish your story.
I just thought that I was going to be stationed out on the end of a, like, you know, making sure people, because it was like on we were filming in an intersection in this industrial area, so we were directing traffic to make sure obviously nobody gets run over during the scene. And I thought I was just going to be stuck out at the end of an intersection all night, like very far away. And then I told the locations manager, I was like, oh, you know, like I would love to just be closer to the action, and like I'm trying to like put some names to faces because I'm going to be doing interviews later. And they were like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll just like swap you in and you can just do all these random tasks.
I love
it was
that.
carrying cones. It was carrying wooden planks. It was setting up lights. It was being on fire watch while everybody else went to go have lunch at 10 p.m.
I love being on Firewatch. It's my only moment of like peace on set.
It was
like I can like
I felt crazy. I was like, this is thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Hundreds of thousands.
And I'm just some random, I'm like, they met me through like 2 emails and I'm just some random person in a vest that's in charge of all of this. I was like, nothing bad better happen in the next 15 minutes.
Well, you signed a contract.
I did.
They're covered.
It was just funny to me. I was like, look at this funny situation I've gotten myself into.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't believe I haven't PA'd. Well, I feel like producing in the tiny capacity. Oh, I've PA'd. What am I saying? I've been on.
I mean,
I'm just going to redacted. Can I say something else?
Please.
Kind of very not relevant to what you were just saying, but I had a meeting this morning with someone to plan Persistence of Vision Film Festival next year. Passing the baton. And they were talking about how they listened to some of our episodes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But apparently I was talking about someone in a less than flattering light. Not naming any names, but they were like, who are you talking about? And I was like, oh my God, I forget that people are like, you know what I mean? Well, I was anecdoting, like, not a pleasant working experience and, like, how that affects how other people, like, perceive them in the future. And I just thought that was funny. I was like, oh, we do have listeners. We know we have listeners and we love you. But I just think it's really interesting and funny when people come up and, like, ask specific questions about certain episodes and they're like, so what were you talking about there? And I'm like, well, that's crazy.
Beats me.
I'm glad
Anyways.
I didn't. Yeah.
We know some things.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember. Sometimes it all blurs together.
I know. I'm pretty sure that was like I think that was our Tibet episode, to be honest. Anyway, what else do we have to talk about, if anything? This is going to be a short and sweet episode. Just a little update on us. Oh, hello.
So silly.
I literally finished my degree in 4 weeks' time. Can we talk about that for a second? And
I'm excited for you. I still have a thesis to write.
I'm ready to be done. I'm ready. I'm gonna return to YouTube. I said this before, but I have a lot to unpack with my film degree. I'm really, really incredibly grateful for it. And I'm also really excited to no longer be studying film and feel like motivated again in another way, because I feel like a lot of my creativity has been kind of sucked into this academic portion of my brain, which is beautiful. And it's like, you know, it's, I don't know if forced creativity is the right word, but, you know, getting me to continuously work on projects has been wonderful and exactly what I wanted. But also, I want to be able to focus on things that I choose to focus on, like making YouTube videos and like Film Picnic. And I just feel like that I will have so much more space to do that. I hope. Well, I am going into my business masters, but I think that because I'll be doing that, I'll want more of a creative outlet, and then I'll be more inclined to. But
I think that's very true. I have been grateful for the creative writing portion of my degree
Yeah.
because I feel like a lot of what I do in those creative writing classes, as I would call myself a writer.
You are a
As a
writer?
writer, like, that is stuff that I would be doing anyways, and it's nice to have. It's nice when the hobby stuff overlaps with the schoolwork stuff, or at
Mhm.
least like when you're doing a school assignment and it feels like hobby type stuff. Yeah. Wow. I have been in a poetry class recently, and I've been on a real collaging grind.
Oh,
And
I
then-
love a good collage.
And then yes, last week our like poetic assignment was a collage. And I was like, this is
that's so fun.
This is just serendipitous and therapeutic and lovely and so nice. Okay, whimsy. Okay, coy. Okay.
I was about to mention my boyfriend and then I got coy.
You can, Hannah, this is a
I have a
safe
boyfriend,
space.
you guys. But
can
I
mention
was gonna be like, oh yeah, we were talking about manifesting the other day, and we're gonna do like a manifesting collage mood board session, which I think is so fun.
I used to do those at the beginning of the year.
I'm
This year I
like-
made a bingo card.
I think that's
was a
also
collage
fun
of
because then you can
sorts.
like, yeah, it's
was arty.
interactive.
Yeah.
It's interactive.
Yeah.
Manifestation, so real, you guys, but that's not what our show is about. But I will say, I did listen to. I had a psychic session 2 years ago that told me that I need to start a radio show podcast, and I was listening to
which
that
is why we're
back.
here.
No, literally. I was listening to that back on my walk yesterday or the day before, and I was like, damn. Like, I love it. I don't know. I just manifest.
Yeah.
And by manifest, I mean I listened to that and took that on board, and I ran with it. So I manifested that into reality. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
Can we talk? Let's just. What are some good movies that you've seen lately? Have you seen Mickey 17?
I was just going to say, let's talk about Mickey. Have you seen it,
That was a
Ethan?
crazy sound.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm not going to
no.
spoil. No, I won't spoil
No
anything.
spoilers.
There will be no spoilers, but I just want to compliment the chef. Okay, Ethan's plugging their ears.
Ethan
Well,
wants, I'd like to
You're
go
going to
blind. I
edit this.
respect
So
that.
okay, what I'll say, I'm not going to spoil anything. What I'll say is I love the way that Bong Joon-ho like literally uses films and like major films to comment so like beautifully on just like commentary on the state of the world. Sorry, I'm really I don't know
No,
what's going.
okay,
Georges
no,
looked at
please.
me today and said, "I've never seen you like this, Hannah," and it's because
We're in rare form today.
Mercury is in retrograde. Mickey 17.
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed and I won't get specific here, but I really enjoyed Robert Pattinson's voice.
Me
Because it
too.
was a little different than his regular
As-
voice. No descriptions.
No descriptions,
But
but
it
I'm
was
just gonna
different.
say, as an actor, he seems like flexible in his vocal range, in his accents as well. It was just like, wow,
And
okay.
it was funny.
It was so funny, and it was like, I'm not a huge action girly. There was action.
You know, I watched it and Mark Ruffalo's in it. That's not a spoiler, it's just a fact. Mark Ruffalo's in it. And
So
then
funny.
after watching Mickey 17 over the weekend, I impulsively watched Spotlight and Zodiac because I was like, I need more Mark Ruffalo. Didn't watch 13 going on 30. I just wasn't in the space of mind for it, but
That's okay.
Have you ever seen Zodiac?
Like what? Like is that a serial killer movie?
Yeah.
Like the Zodiac killer?
Well, but it's
Is
not
that a real killer? Yeah.
It's a
Is he the serial killer?
no. It's like a fictionalized telling of the story about the man who wrote the book about
Whoa,
the Zodiac
interesting.
killer. Anyways, I have mixed feelings about true crime, but the movie itself, it's just Mark Ruffalo being very intense. As is him in Spotlight, which is them talking about, it's like the
I haven't
story of the
seen
Boston
Spotlight either.
Globe breaking the scandal about like abuse in the Catholic Church.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, this big scandal that the Boston Globe broke. Anyways, it's a bunch of Mark Ruffalo and Michael Keaton and Rachel McAdams being these journalists, and they're all very intense. And Mickey 17, I was inspired to go consume more Mark Ruffalo.
Love. I will also say Robert Pattinson has a very special place in my heart as a literal diehard Twilight fan. Like
I would say more, but I don't want to.
spoil anything for Ethan because
Yeah.
Ethan's editing the episode.
But also, yeah, I don't know. I've seen some other good things lately. I'm in a melodrama class. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about this. This is gay.
Okay,
This is gay.
we
and
love
let's
it.
Talk about it.
Yay, gay.
In my...
It was really loud, sorry.
No, it wasn't loud. In my melodrama
It was loud.
class on melodrama, we watched Brokeback Mountain by Ang Lee. Also,
Before you finish, can I say from my perspective that we had a meeting on last Friday, and Georgia was feeling herself. Well, Georgia was in her Georgia was in her feelings.
There we go.
There was a big hug necessary and some tears at the beginning. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, that movie makes me cry every time. Also, it's at 10 a.m. on a Friday, and I was just like, it was just like right away. It was just quite a way to start a day by watching that film. Yeah, I don't know, but we talked a lot about for anyone that doesn't know, Brokeback Mountain is like, it's like the gay cowboy movie, or at least that's how it's known.
I can't believe I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should really watch it. The reception of it came out in 2000.
Makes it normally.
I want to say 2005 or 2008, one of those, early 2000s. So definitely a very different cultural, socio-cultural landscape than we are in today, especially for queer people. And even though it's this really poignant, beautiful film about love between two people, it, like, because it is a gay love story, it became a punchline, and that was like kind of the cultural reception of it. Was like, oh, haha, the gay cowboy movie. And like they present sex scenes in a way that I don't know of any other films that show it in quite the same light that this one does. Anyways, it's
what light?
As like intimate and visceral, and they, it's I think maybe a little even more graphic than some other films would kind of present it as. Sorry, wow, I'm like trying to be so careful about my language here.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I just
this was
touched
supportive.
your foot, but it was a supportive foot touch.
The point is, I think it was so revolutionary because it is, or even just for me, like it's presenting a queer relationship. I was like, you know what? If you're a homophobe and you watch that movie, maybe you would like, even if it doesn't make you not a homophobe anymore, it would evoke sympathy and it would evoke understanding for that point of view, because it's just,
watch this movie.
It's not presenting homosexuality as dirty or low class, and they're not like people that are meeting in motels, in the way that it kind of is presented in earlier media. It's like
when you're talking about the presentation of it or the representation of it, you're talking about at that time.
Yes,
because I feel like recently we've had a lot of great.
Oh
yeah.
Out, but I mean, like
just
previous to this film and historically, but then this movie coming out and it's all set outside and they're like these cowboys on horses and it's all in this beautiful mountain scenery and they're, it's kind of like running this parallel, like, oh, it's their love and it's naturalistic and I don't know, it just, oh my goodness, it really just had me in my feels.
I love it.
And then I literally I was going from this class to go have a meeting with Hannah, and I was just like, I don't know. It makes me cry every time. Well, I won't spoil anything. I mean, to be honest,
I haven't seen it.
Queer movies, whether they're happy or whether they're sad, make me cry. Because I'm like, if it's a person coming out and being accepted, I'm crying because I'm like, that's so beautiful. And like the fear is there of not knowing what's going to happen. And then, I don't know, I feel like there's that terror sometimes with coming out and addressing that, of being like, you don't know how it's going to go, and then being accepted. That makes me emotional. Yeah. And then obviously it's emotional to have it go south. On a related note, Vancouver Queer Film Festival is hiring, they're currently hiring programmers.
Period.
So if you love films.
Programmers and maybe just program. There's another job, but I can't remember.
Well, I'm going to apply for it, so.
Okay, sorry. No, don't look at the website. They're only hiring programmers.
No, yeah. Well, I'm like, sometimes I think about, if you're graduating a film studies program, does everybody want to be a film critic?
I don't know.
But then
do you want to be a film critic?
I love writing about film, and I'm like, I could continue to do it. Yeah. It'd be nice to have a little more creativity, because I feel like sometimes the academic format is not always the most creatively liberating. But if someone was just like, write about something that you're passionate about, I'd be
That's
like,
fair.
Sick.
Yeah. Who knows
Anyway,
what the future holds?
Plug for Vancouver Queer Film Festival because
So many festivals
they're
coming
lovely.
up. Gem Festival just happened. Gem Fest.
Yes, Gender Equity in Media Society.
Crazy Eights is,
In 2 weeks?
well, when this comes out, it's next week.
Oh, real. True.
So I have lost all my steam. I don't know if you can tell. I feel like my eyes have glazed over. I'm sorry.
No, this might be a good point to...
I think
this might
so.
be a good point to call it, to reel it in.
To reel it in.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks for
takeaways-
hanging with us
Thanks
throughout
for
this
hanging
episode
with
also.
us.
This is...
we just haven't
so
done any
chaotic.
solo episodes in season 2. We decided against it, but I do love our solo episodes, and I do love to just yap with you, Georgia.
You
You
know,
know,
what,
when
if
we
do
have
this
a
again-
specific topic, it's helpful.
Yes.
But today was a good yap.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, the person that we were supposed to interview today, we'll have him on at some point.
yeah, he's wonderful.
That content will be coming.
It will
someday,
be.
sometime.
Manifesting.
Manifesting it now. We'll find a time that works,
Yes.
and it'll be a beautiful conversation.
Mhm.
And I'll sit in a chair with a back that works.
And what else?
And blessings and prosperity for all of our listeners, and world
you.
peace, and
We love you.
safety for everyone in the world that's needing it. And what else do we want to manifest right now? I would love to get a job. Is this just us?
Let's manifest
saying
Georgia getting a
what we're-
job. Somebody hire Georgia, actually.
No, you know what? Someone give Film Picnic money.
Yeah,
so
can
this
you
could
fund
just
us,
be my
please? Can
full-time
someone
job.
fund us?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Listeners, please enjoy the rest of your day. If you're listening to this live on a Friday, happy Friday.
Happy
If you're
Friday.
listening to this while you're brushing your teeth, or if we're joining you for your breakfast,
Lunch or dinner or dessert. Do you have a breakfast podcast? Do you be listening to a podcast at breakfast?
sometimes.
I love that.
Should
for
I be
you.
ashamed of that?
No, it's just not my style. But
Okay.
now it's just like a breakfast
Well,
podcast.
it's mine.
That's fun. Be sure to check us out at FLM Picnic on Instagram. You can also find us on the CITR webpage.
You can also find us at Film Picnic on Spotify and hopefully Apple Music and wherever else you get your podcasts coming soon. Why my brain's not working? It's
No,
done.
it's been a
done.
day.
It's been a day.
Join us next week on Film Picnic. Next week? In 2 weeks on Film Picnic.
Next time.
Next time on Film Picnic, as we continue to debunk the film industry with meaningful conversation
One picnic at a time.